Well, every time I don't ever follow a recipe to the T.
Yeah. You kind of customize it every time. She does.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in. Today we are going to try a sweet potato and sausage quinoa bake. I have zero faith that this is going to be good. It's got quinoa in it, which I don't necessarily care for. It's got sweet potatoes, it's got kale, and it's got Italian chicken sausage. I just don't think it's going to turn out good, but we're going to give it a try because that's what we do here. So let's go. So first thing that it calls for is to peel the sweet potatoes. It called for 3 sweet potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick as possible. Once you peel them, then you go ahead and dice them up. All right. So those are all peeled, so now they'll get chopped. Chopped into cubes. All right, that's fine. All right, cool. So that is done. So then it says to preheat the oven to 350. And it says to toss the sweet potatoes in olive oil, salt, and pepper. So we're just gonna use these guys. So let's go ahead and put some salt in here. Put a little bit of pepper in here. Let's put a little bit of olive oil. She doesn't say any measurements at all. Apparently I've not opened this. I really am gonna make a mess out of this. You will not beat me. I really can't open this. Is there a specific way that you open these? Oh, got it.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! Oh. All right, well that was fun. It says to toss it. It looks tossed, it looks good. As good as sweet potato ever looks. Then from there we're going to place it on a baking sheet and bake for 25 minutes. Oh, I guess I gotta wait for that to preheat. Alright, that looks pretty well spread out. Cool. So that's going to bake for 25 minutes and then we'll come back, I guess. What are we going to do after that? Oh, so then we can go ahead and get the quinoa rolling. So I'm waiting for the oven to preheat for that. We are going to get the quinoa going. And that is, it says a cup. Place a cup of quinoa and 2 cups into a small saucepan. Yeah, pretty much. Looks disgusting once it gets cooked. My trainer said that I should have this instead of rice because it just doesn't have very much fat in it and stuff. It's a good source of carbs if you need carbs. Alright, and then I have 2 cups of water that I'd asked for. So we're going to pour that. We're going to go ahead and get this cooking. We bring that to a boil and then we're going to cover it and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. I don't have the lid. Here's the lid. And then from there, that'll be fluffed and set aside, and then in a large pan we are going to drizzle olive oil and chopped kale. Terrible. Maybe I should switch these so I'm closer to the camera. Olive oil. And I need to chop up some kale. We're going to save some kale for Sheldon. Get rid of this. We're going to have to take our time with this because I don't know how we're supposed to possibly.
You got this in here, man.
I've tried it before and I don't like kale. But the point of this channel is to try stuff that you think might fail. And maybe it's going to be successful. Alright, so
Kale, the other bag.
it says to use one whole bunch of kale, and I think that's way too much.
Just because you don't like it.
Yeah, because if I liked it, I'd probably be like, let's throw a ton of that in there.
More kale.
That's probably good. We'll save the rest for Sheldon. Alright, so that'll go. This looks like super healthy, like healthiest meal we've ever made. Okay, cool. That's good. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Do I have a towel to at least dry this counter off? Alright, so we are almost ready to go with the oven. So we're waiting for this to boil, then this is going to go for 15 minutes. Then that's going to go. I'm not going to start that yet until this is ready. So sprinkle sea salt and pepper and saute. So I do have sea salt. Alright, that is for this. Let's go ahead and put this in. How long does that go? For 25 minutes or till tender. Cool, so that's gonna go. We'll have this ready with some pepper. Then we are going to chop up the sausage. I'm gonna use the same thing because it's going in with the kale. Let me use a different knife. She says to use organic sausage, but I think I've gone organic enough. And I couldn't find organic sausage. Not that I asked for help, but still. Oh, these smell terrible.
Huh?
It smells terrible.
Like you said, you smell terrible. I think.
Did you? Alright, so this needs a lid and then it's gonna simmer for 15 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer on my phone so I don't forget. Clock, timer, 15 minutes, go. Cool. That's done. I'm gonna stir this because I feel like we're about to boil over. We should be simmering. There we go. Then that's gonna brown in with the kale once the kale is cooked and sauteed and seasoned. Then in a large bowl, we're going to mix together the quinoa, the sweet potato, the kale, and the sausage together. Then we're gonna pour it in a big baking dish. Then we sprinkle cheese over top.
And we feed it to the farm animals.
No, it says shred the Shred the cheese. And then you fluff and set it aside. Then in a large pan you drizzle. Is this the same instructions? This is the same instructions. Alright, so you put the cheese on top and then you bake for 10 minutes. Alright guys, so the last thing that I'm going to do to prepare for the craziness that hopefully will start is shred this cheese. It called for, I don't know how you say that, G-R-U-Y-E-R-E, whatever that type of cheese is. So we're going to shred it, and it only calls for a 1/3 cup, so it should be pretty quick. Yep, that's good. That's a 1/3 cup for sure. So we're plenty good with the cheese too. Let's see what this tastes like. That's good cheese. I like it actually. That would be really good sliced and served on a platter. Alright, this is at its 15 minutes. It is fluffed and ready to go. Okay. So I think I'm going to start sauteing this. Let me get a fork. I don't know how you're supposed to do this.
Is there like olive oil in there?
Yeah, at the bottom. Thinking maybe I should have drizzled it on top. Drizzle a little more. And then it says to salt and pepper. I'm gonna close this. Alright, so we did that. This is gonna saute until it begins to crisp slightly, set aside. And then in a large bowl, we're gonna mix the quinoa, the kale. Oh wait, I didn't cook the... Okay, so the chicken's gonna go in here too. Alright, so I'm gonna throw this chicken sausage. And this just gets browned.
It's gotta be thoroughly cooked though, right?
No, it's already fully cooked.
Oh, sausages?
Mm-hmm. So then, in the large pan, we drizzled the olive oil and the chopped kale. We sprinkled the sea salt and the pepper and sauteed the kale. Then we added the chicken sausages, and that's gonna wait until it's brown. Then in a large bowl, we're gonna mix the quinoa, the sweet potato, the kale, and the chicken sausage together. And then we pour it into a large baking dish, and then we put the cheese on top, and you bake it for 10 minutes. So we're almost done. All right. Let's put this in. Alright, so quinoa is in. Now we're literally just waiting on the kale and the sweet potatoes. The kale looks fresh and crispy and somewhat appetizing. I don't think the kale's anywhere near what it was supposed to be as far as sauteed.
Well, like I wasn't there. Like I wasn't there.
Alright, so this looks good. Let's check and see if the, not squash. What is this? What is this called? Sweet potato. Is tender? It is tender. Sweet. Alright, so this is good to go. This can go off, I think. It's pretty well browned. Alright, so the kale has disappeared pretty much because it is now sauteed like it was supposed to be sauteed before I added all of the meat. Alright, so now we just mix everything. It doesn't say to drain, but I don't think I need, well, it's just olive oil. It'll be all right. I'll throw it in there. There's that. Let's put the sweet potato in and put that in the middle. Don't want to burn myself. I did spray this beforehand.
Sweet potatoes also had olive oil on it, so.
Professional. It worked. Okay, cool.
You need to say, by the way, if you're just tuning in, this is not cheese I'm scraping off of this.
Ugh.
It's cheese from here.
Look like cheese?
Yeah.
Sweet potato. All right. So now, I'm probably gonna move everything so that I can pour it. This is gonna go on the floor, I already know. All right, so baking dish over here. This just gets dumped like so. It's not really mixed very good, but we're gonna try mixing it from here. This just looks too healthy.
Somebody's gonna be beating your door down for that recipe.
I doubt it.
If you've got the energy to knock on the door.
Alright, cool. So, there's still a ton in there. So then it says just to add your cheese. I shredded this cheese earlier, so it's good to go. Bake it for 10 minutes or until the cheese is melted, but we're just gonna go by 10 minutes. That wasn't very much cheese, but that was what it called for. Alright, so 10 minutes, and I turned off the oven earlier. Oops. It's ready. Alright, here we go.
Eat all day.
Whatever. You had other stuff.
That was a video ago.
I feel like I want to need some extra cheese. Oh, I made a mess already.
Good food, good treat, good gosh, let's eat.
Let's hope we survive. You know what I didn't check? I didn't check my mic. What you trying first?
It all looks so...
So appetizing.
Alright, we'll try a little bit of kale.
Sweet potatoes alright.
No, sweet potatoes good.
Kale's alright.
Yeah, I had that. A blind person would love it.
A healthy person.
It don't taste bad. It don't.
A healthy person would like it too.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't make it for myself. It don't taste bad.
I actually think it tastes pretty good.
Actually, when you told me what you was making, I figured, well, I'll go at the very end of the video. You can taste test it yourself. I was hungry. Maybe that's why it's good. I don't consider it a fail.
I don't either. I think it's actually pretty good. I think my kale chunks could have been a little smaller. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. I don't think I'd ever make it again because it was kind of a pain.
I don't know about this little, what was this stuff, this round stuff called? I think
The rice stuff? That's quinoa.
How do you pronounce that?
Quinoa.
Quinoa. Was it lime?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it before.
Chicken sausage is good.
It is, it's very good. Not
Well,
bad.
I had no faith in this recipe. And I'm pleasantly surprised.
I really don't know who this is for, but I mean, out of my 63 years of life, I've never had anything like this, and I don't know if I'd recommend it to anybody, but it tastes good.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, I guess we had another success. I didn't think that it was going to turn out good, but it is. Definitely tolerable, definitely good. I'd eat more of that for sure. This was on Pinterest, and the website that it's actually coming from is called Spinach for Breakfast.
Oh, this is breakfast?
That's the website name.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So definitely give me a like, definitely subscribe. I definitely think you want to see more videos coming up because there's interesting stuff like this that actually turns out pretty good. And we get to try it before you do so that you don't have to waste your money, because I'd rather waste my money before you waste your money, apparently. So,
Like, share, and subscribe, guys.
thanks, y'all. Bye.